tour for a dozen years, looking for her first victory. The Goose from Russia, Nataliya Guseva, third shot at the par 5 fifth. She would have that tap in to get to 4 under par, and she just keeps climbing.
This event, and I'm very excited to see what they do. It could be life-changing for a lot of them.
Kay Cockrell is out here following this group that includes Nataliya Guseva. And Kay, we watched her in the blustery conditions in Hawaii last year contend for a title at the Lotte.
Exactly, and these are very similar conditions, a similar feel, tropical, warm, windy, and she's quite at home. Downhill chip shot, left to right break.
None of those conditions sound Russian, by the way, but she's made herself at home. She went to Miami, University of Miami, collegiately. LPGA Tour.
That's a cool thing about golf, isn't it? You know, you always get a new opportunity, and you know, Brianna said in her interview yesterday that she's just excited for the opportunity this week. She didn't know she was going to get in this event, and she wants to take advantage of it, and she's doing just that right now.
Really nice up and down for Nataliya Guseva. She stays one back. So you have the U.S. We talk about it all the time, Kay, but this group really is the LPGA in a nutshell, isn't it? When you have Korea, Russia, and Australia represented, with a couple of these players having played collegiately in the U.S.
Well, the goal of all the governing bodies worldwide was to grow the game internationally, and I think we can see the fruits of all the efforts, the RNA, the USGA, the LPGA, PGA, all the individual countries, organizations. Ever since the golf came back to the Olympics, it has grown exponentially.
Well said.
Fat part of the green, and for Guseva that means left of the flag. Then if the wind drifts it a little to the right, closer to the flag, great. She's in the first cut of rough, so much more easy to control. Ball a little bit above her feet, 160 yards. She hits naturally a more driving low shot, and that it will be an advantage throughout the week.
Holden looking for that first victory, just like Nataliya Guseva in her second year.
I've had a chance to watch Guseva a fair bit last year, her rookie year, and this, and she is a striking player. She's strong. She hits it a long way. I love the way she controls the flight of her ball. She has all the ingredients.
No objections from you, right, Mel? She's 470th in the LPGA's priority list, and just think top 120 or so will get you into most weeks. So a big opportunity for Brianna, and so far she's taking advantage. The Goose at 10.
Gripping down on this wedge, and just a real little half shot. Love that.
Here is Guseva. This to get within 1 of Brianna Do. Your former Bruin alum, Brianna Do. Okay.
I know, and everybody loves Brianna. She is such a sweetheart, and she has not had an easy path in professional golf. But this path could be very simple for Guseva with all the strength she has, and this is an easy putt, uphill, not much movement. Oh, she didn't give it a chance.
First player from Russia to earn her LPGA membership, and had a terrific rookie year last season.
She might have got lucky there.
Mel, that was an unforced error. I mean, there are some challenging tee shots out here that feel really tight. This is not one of them. Yeah, Guseva really brings her trajectory down, and I think that's why she played so well in windy Hawaii, and why it will help her this week. Yeah, Hagen will have a shot, not an ideal one. Guseva's going to go ahead and go next. She's in really good position, just in the first, well, just off the fairway, but it's almost like she's in the fairway, just a lob wedge in hand. She looking to get this really close. Ugh, she babied it too much and it just sat right down. Missed her spot by like 2 steps.
Something she works really hard on.
Back at the 11th for Guseva.
This is a much longer birdie putt than she would have expected out in the fairway. Just inside 40 feet, left to right break. I mean, there's the difference, Mel, trying to get it inside 5 feet with a lob wedge with an easy birdie putt versus having to grind for a 2-putt par.
Now, an interesting question with Nataliya Guseva, and I know there are a lot of people involved in this. Being from Russia, could she play in the Solheim Cup? And I know it's a question that she's forcing a lot of people to ask because of how talented she is.
I mean, I would love her to play a Solheim Cup. I think she'd be an unbelievable team member for Team Europe, and she's just such a good player. We would welcome her with open arms.
Because the LPGA goes by. He told us he might stay there.
I don't blame him.
He's just taking laps. Who could blame him? Here's Guseva at the 12th.
At its narrowest, this fairway is only 16 paces wide. Played the 5th hardest hole yesterday. Does play back into the wind as well, and that was lovely.
MP. Good putt.
At 12, Guseva.
See if she can take advantage of a long straight drive. Only 147 yards left to this lengthy par 4. Little bit of a downhill lie will help her keep that down, but she pushed it and not pleased with that strike at all.
Now Maria Fassi behind the 8 ball.
Sure. She's on the radar for this one as well.
How about the pitch for Guseva?
Pretty straightforward, decent lie. Looks like she should be able to get that up and in.
This is some kind of performance from Brianna Doe, a player in her 130th career start. At the par 5, 13th, Nataliya Guseva.
Yeah, bunker on the right is 250 out, comes into play. I was chatting with Nataliya on the way to the tee, asking her how she was handling this heat. She said extra hydration, extra electrolytes, and just making sure you get enough rest.
Yeah, and a little less drama here for Nataliya Guseva.
Yeah, she's going to give this a rip. I mean, what, she's got 230 to the front. Taking out her 3-wood. Let's see how close she can get it.
Not seen many
Pointing
people.
into the wind. She went after that hard, peeling right. Needs a lucky bounce.
That hit something. I don't know if it stayed in. It hit something in Karen's back.
Unsure. Not many people have gone for that green in 2. She definitely has the
Second shot was sailing right. What can you tell us, Kay?
It ended up in the penalty area into the jungle, unplayable. So she took a drop from the red line, ended up on the cart path, then took relief from the cart path. So she is hitting her 4th opportunity, and her focus right now to get this up and in for a par. She's got a good lie. Ball maybe just a titch below her feet. Good amount of green to work with, and the green's tilted towards her slightly, as is a bit of the grain.
We'll see. Right, this is the par pitch for Guseva, 13.
Yeah, from just over the green. Decent lie. Oh, Mel looked like she was trying to slam dunk that.
yeah, a little heavy.
So, Kay, I'm just thinking about how Hedgen Choi and Nataliya Guseva have managed these last few holes. Hedgen's hit it all over the place, but is hanging in, and this is now for bogey for Guseva on the other hand.
Yeah, this is a long par or bogey putt, and she made that hole a lot harder than it should have been.
See the name of Miranda Wang there, the rookie on the LPGA Tour, went to Duke from China. Came off the Epson Tour, and Miranda's had a couple of times a year to just try to make sure everything is dialed in. And now Guseva.
She was visibly irritated with herself for not taking advantage of that potentially reachable par 5 for her, given her length. That was really, relatively speaking, a rather silly mistake for her, but as a golfer, you have to, Mel, learn how to let the mistakes go and not carry them on to the next.
Oh yeah, you need the memory of a goldfish.
Sounds easy, not as.
Bits of grain, different kind of grain to work with.
Guseva next.
Just a pace ahead, but almost in the center of the fairway. 149 yards to the hole. See if she flights this down and can control it. Yeah, that was a pretty swing.
Landed soft there, Kay. Hi.
See if Guseva can bounce back at 14.
She got the perfect read off of Ruffles. Well, she needed to hit that obviously much firmer.
Maria Fassi with Guseva just a foot or so left. Take care here, yeah.
Pleased with her tee shot, kind of fanned it out to the right, and the wind just gobbled it up. She ended up in the front right part of the screen. Hole is sort of middle back, hugging the left-hand side, so putting across the diagonal of the screen, trying to judge the speed right, downwind. Pretty nice to get that within a 3-foot circle.
Kay, is this because we're right here at the water, or has the wind picked up everywhere?
I think it's steadily increased over the last hour, but certainly this hole and these ones that come into the oceanfront holes, you feel a much stronger wind.
It could have been in the trees. She's kind of hanging on here and managing pretty well, actually. Now Guseva.
Missed her short putt for par. So on this tee, having made a couple bogeys in the last 3 holes, going with 3 wood. This is low with a draw as well. But smart choice of clubs, won't find any danger.
It's about 60.
Love it. Just left of it. Love it.
181 yards to the hole, with this playing downwind. Really large green, 48 deep. Hole 17 paces on, just 4 from the right. Coming out of the rough, little downhill lie. She went after that one hard, trying to get some hit and release.
We'll keep it here. Here's Guseva at the 16th. What about this third?
Yeah, it's really, she left it in a good spot. Her lie is pretty decent. Like I said, the rough is varying heights, and it can sink down or it can perch up. This one's pretty neutral. A lot of green to work with. Players starting to get more comfortable chipping out of this Paspalum Bermuda rough. Yeah, really, really nice. Very good tempo with that stroke.
And we've said it before, she's got all the weapons that you'd need to become a world-class player. You finished top 30 as a rookie in the race to the Semi.
Get in there for dear life. That's what you got to do. That's golf. Constantly testing you.
Kay, has there ever been, you've covered this a long time, you played it a long time. Has anyone ever won and they didn't get something fortunate happen to them? I guess it happens sometimes.
No, it's very rare when everything is all systems go, nothing but green lights. You're gonna have a couple of bumps, and how do you deal with them?
How it will play with the tee moved up. It could be fun.
Oh, for a drivable, yeah. Well, isn't that always exciting?
We love a drivable par 4, don't we?
You teed
Yeah,
off
they
in the
do.
very first group at the Solheim at Des Moines, right?
Oh, that is right. I absolutely smoked it. We were playing against Lexi, me and Charlie, I think, and smoked it to about 15 feet. Lexi pulls out a 3-wood, and I'm thinking, why is she laying up? And she hits it to 6 feet. So my time was short-lived as a hero that day.
That ball might be short-lived. Kay, did you see it?
That was a heavy D off the tee, and there's some pampas grass and kind of an area where the hazard comes in. I think she cleared it.
Well, we saw the tee shot at 17 for Guseva, sailing short and left, and you never want to see the rules official show up, not in crossbucker there.
To the red penalty area. 1 in, 2 out, hitting 3 now.
Kind of out of nowhere, wasn't it? A little bit.
It was, yeah. Caught it.
Let's see if Guseva can escape here. Third shot.
Yeah, looks like she's going with a fairly lofted club. Does have a little bit of a downhill lie. Just trying to get it somewhere safe, short of the green, and try to get up and in from.
Here comes the fourth shot for Nataliya Guseva, who's trying to step it off and get a sense.
Mel, she's got to be reeling a little bit. I mean, what kind of self-talk did you say to yourself when you hit just an extraordinarily odd, bad shot out of nowhere?
Well, I can't say most of it on air, Kay, to be quite honest with you.
We're
I'd
on the
start
app,
there.
actually. You could just go verbatim.
Just go. Yeah, I mean,
All
you
right,
just got to
coach
forget
her
it.
up, coach her up.
You just got to forget about it. You know, you just think, well, that was a bit weird. And you move on. You get some good feels in the next swing and just trying to commit to it as best as possible. And when you hit kind of odd shots like that, you just got to take it as a bit of a weird one, really, and not try and think about it too much.
Well, I think she was protecting there from going long. You cannot go past this hole or it will roll off the green, and her struggles continue.
Had a heavy sound to it, didn't it?
Certainly did.
I think it's because of the hole location.
Mm-hmm. Bogey putt for Guseva.
Well, she was really humming on that front 9. 3 birdies at 4, 5, and 7, and then bogey 13, 15, and in danger of a bogey or worse here. But you have to remind yourself, Mel, like you said, let it go, and it's a 72-hole tournament.
Absolutely. I mean, you're going to have a little run of holes that are really going to test you. You just got to try and get out there with as little damage as possible.
You think of the times you hit a bad shot and there's nothing out there to get in the way. You just hit a bad shot and you move on. That time she hit a bad shot and there happened to be a penalty area. And Cost her a couple. A good chance to tie, who knows, maybe even take the lead here for Hedgen. And let's see how Guseva bounces back here.
Interesting, she's going with 3-wood off this tee. I would think Mel, with her power and thought that she could make a 3 here and immediately erase that double. I mean, obviously with a good 3-wood she could still get there in 2, but I'm surprised she's not going with the driver.
She might be a little bit concerned on that left bunker, Kay, or just doesn't feel quite comfortable with the driver. And like you said, she's already got the hitting power anyway with a 3-wood. She can still get up there in 2 and give herself a chance. I mean, she's hit it almost past the drivers of the other 2 there.
Way to get that long-awaited first major title.
4 o'clock wind.
We heard 4 o'clock wind, I think, Kay, for Guseva's second.
Yeah, that means if you're looking at a clock, the wind is coming from 4 o'clock, so helping a little right to left. 208 yards to the front. Hoping for a good, solid, straight iron shot.
Chasing it up there.
Yeah, just trying to get it to the front of the green.
She almost hit a crow there as well. Don't say birdie, Joe. Change. I always kind of took a lot of ownership on myself, and I think this is going to be good for her.
Guseva with her third.
Similar shot to what Gabby just had, but she's more centered, short of the green. Oh, she didn't catch that solidly. It came out like it just wasn't driving enough, and she didn't hit a low enough shot, and it just checked. Not happy with herself.
17 may have had nothing to do with that, but can that sometimes happen, a carryover?
I wouldn't say so. I
Yeah.
think, 17 was a flat-out chunk, and I think she's just mishit that ever so slightly.
Yeah.
And I think it gets punished out here because of the grain on the greens and the inconsistency.
A much longer putt than she wanted, but if it goes in, all's well that ends well, I guess.
Yeah, always like to finish positively, and to her credit, after making double bogey, she went to the 18th tee, and before doing so, signed a couple of things for a young girl who was out in the gallery. And I thought that was really sweet and special.
It'll feel kind of like a bogey, won't it, where she was?
100%. Yeah.
But, or back.
Yeah,
moment.
she's definitely very much in this tournament, but she'll be a little bit disappointed with the way that she finished there. She was going along so nicely. Just dropped a few shots in the last 3 or 4, 5 holes.
It will be interesting, Mel, to see how the scores change this